Hey guys, so I'm back. The filter is filtering today, so don't mind the discoloration, but I really like this filter, and so this is what we're gonna get. So I wanted to come and talk to you guys today about something I think is very important for those of you considering starting being a phone sex operator, who've been a phone sex operator, and just, what I've seen over the years. So I've been teaching for going on 4 years now, maybe a little bit longer. And so I've talked to a lot of different women and men. And I've seen people who have been uber successful, and I've seen people who have just kind of failed to start, failed to thrive, if you will. And so I want to talk about some of the differences I've seen overall so that can help you to not make these mistakes, and to kind of know what you're getting yourself into when it comes to this. So the number one mistake that I see is that people come in with a corporate mindset trying to do a hustle type business. And so the thing about me is I'm not a person who is always trying to be on the grinding day in, day out. Like, that's not the type of lifestyle I wanted for myself getting into this. And that's not the type of lifestyle that I promote. That's why my motto with the website, prettypinkprofit.com, my company, is make the bag chase you. Don't chase the bag. The chasing the bag, and the hustle mentality, as people are calling it nowadays, is very crippling and is very unhealthy when you're trying to live a life that is balanced. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have to hustle. I'm saying like the hustle mentality in terms of grinding every day, no sleep, all of those type of things is unrealistic for me and how I want to live. It's not giving softcore era. It's giving, very masculine energy for me. And even if you are a man coming into this, you deserve a break too. Tap in to your feminine side. But I say all that to say, the people come in with the corporate mindset, coming from like a 9 to 5, where it's like, okay, you work this amount of time, and if it's provided, you do overtime, and that's how you earn your keep. But with this, it's really much more so on you, how much you can earn, how much you can make, and what's going to come out of it. And so let me just give you an example of some of the questions that tell me that you have that corporate mindset trying to come into this. So how much will I make if I stay on for 4 hours a day? How long will it take me to get to this amount? Stuff like that is, you're putting yourself in a box, because truth of the matter is, for me, y'all know that my goal every day has been the $300 a day goal, because that is 6 figures. In my mind, it could take me an hour or it could take me 5 hours to get to that goal. But if the 5 hour mark comes up and I haven't reached my goal, I'm going to stay on. This is the type of business where I could be in this room chilling. I could be watching TV, waiting for calls. I could be on my laptop over here, just, browsing and perusing, and be waiting for calls, be responding to chats. So it's nothing for me and how my lifestyle is set up to work for a long period of time. It also is the truth of the matter is, I've had calls that meet my goal and surpass my goal in one day. So the nature of what you're doing is not something where you can say, okay, I'm going to do this every day for 3 hours, and that's it. And then I want to, be at 6 figures. I want to be a millionaire from this. Like, it's not realistic. And so you really have to take that mindset out of this. The number 2 thing is, when you're creating your model and when you're getting set up, you're not having a backstory for your character. This is acting. It is a whole world of fantasy. It is a whole world of creating scenarios and creating kind of a life that is not your own, and providing that inner world to someone else. Think about the world of Harry Potter. Think about how intricate J.K. Rowling had to be to create those characters, create the world, create the scenes, create the subtle nuances, the symbols, and everything like that. That takes a lot. And not to say that you have to go so deep into when you're creating your character, but you definitely want to give your girl a backstory. Who is she? What does she do? Especially when you're looking to have those repeat customers and those customers who fall in love with you and spoil you and all those things, they're going to want to know, who is this girl? They're going to ask you, how was your day today? If you in your mind are, a stay-at-home mom like me, I can't tell them how my actual day was. I can't tell them, oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I teach phones, so you have to come up with a backstory. You have to use your imagination and create this dynamic story around your girl so that she's interesting, and so people want to call her not once but twice and more times and more times and more times and more times. And that's also going to help you get into the mindset that every time you pick up the phone, it's begin scene. Every time the call ends, it's end scene. So that's number 2. Number 3, everybody wants to be a financial dominatrix. And I respect it, because who wouldn't want to be a financial dominatrix? You're dealing with guys who their fetish is to literally send you money. Yes. But the thing about it is, a lot of you guys don't understand the concept and the skill set that it takes to be a financial dominatrix. It's not just pick up the phone. Okay, send me $100. Now send me $300. Now send me $400. That is a part of it, but it is a very much so a skill that you have to learn and acquire and know a little bit more about the world of subbing and doming and slaves and owning somebody. And that's not commonplace. So before you decide to come to me to do your profile, or you set up your profile to be a financial dominatrix, do your research, read books, watch videos, documentaries, look up scripts, find out what it's actually going to take for you to thrive in this lifestyle, and to be that dominatrix, which is also going to be, going back to what I said earlier, creating a backstory, creating a personality. Who is Mistress So-and-so? Who is Goddess So-and-so? What does she bring to the table? Why is she so angry? Why does she enjoy abusing and draining wallets? So that is very much so something that you want to think about. And you want to know certain terminology and things like that. So I'm putting together a group of books, a book bundle that I'm going to offer to you guys, that you can read multiple books that I've been provided with, or that I've purchased, and you can get it all in one little swoop so that you can do your research. Now, don't get overwhelmed. Take it one book at a time, one chapter at a time, one page at a time. But that is something that you really need to consider before you just jump right in. The first time that I did financial domination was via chat. I did amazing with it. But the first time that I did it over the phone, I got hung up on. And this was after me have been a phone operator for 3 years at that point. And I had just never dabbled in FinDom before. But once I, did it over chat, I was like, okay, well, let me get into it on the phone. Big difference. And I had to learn. And so, now I consider myself very skilled at it, but there's still more that I learn. I still read the books. I still take the time to figure these things out. And you definitely should as well. So number 4 is self-doubt. This one, it may sound cliche and it may sound like, no, what does this have to do with phone? But honestly, if you come into this with self-doubt, and it's debilitating, it's crippling, and it's toxic. And I'm going to go back to what I said in the last video I posted. Don't buy my if you have self-doubt. We don't need you here. We don't need you sprinkling all of that, toxic energy with us, because it's really crippling. And let me give you an example. If I wake up today and I say, oh, it's not a good day. Oh, the lines are slow. I'm going to get off and I'm going to stop myself from putting myself out there before I've even had the chance to interact with someone who could be the big one. You never know when your next phone call is going to be that big fish. You never know when that next chat that comes in is going to be the person who sends you a tons of tributes. So if you look at it like, oh, all I'm getting is chats, no one's calling me like that, oh, I had a short phone call, you're going to get yourself out of there. Yes, the chats aren't as much as the phone calls, but it's still 67 cents per message. I've made all of my money via chat plenty of days. And within those chats, people also do send you tributes. They also do prepare for phone calls later. So if you come into it with kind of a mindset that you're already going to fail, you are going to fail. And so you really have to have it in your mind that you can't fail, that this is something that there's a reason why you found me. There's a reason why you found this industry. There's a reason why you're doing this, and make it work. Like, I hear a lot of different excuses, and trust me, I love an excuse. Like, I'm not somebody who's not a human being, and I don't have excuses for why I can and cannot do certain things. But at the end of the day, when I have been doing this for so long, and I've only had me telling me that I have to, there's no supervisor here that is saying like, hey, are you going to get on the phone lines today? Hey, you haven't been on the phone lines in a few days. There's no manager. There's no coworkers I can look at and be like, oh, they're chilling so I can chill. Oh, they're working hard, so let me pick up the pace. Like, it's very much so self-sufficient. Like, and so with that, I cannot allow self-doubt to stop me from doing what I need to do. That's just not an option for me. And so I see it a lot of times, even with when I first talk to you guys, it's like, you're like, so do you think that I could? It's not about what I think. Honestly, once you're done with me on the phone and I've set up your profile, and we get off of the live stream for the week, we're done. It's just you in your room with your phone, your computer, your tablet, whatever it is. It's you who has to get the work done. So what I think is, you could be a millionaire with this if you wanted to. Like, what I think is, you could do so many different things with this. But that next part goes into my last point, and that is creativity. Creativity is something that I don't feel is just some people are creative and some people are not. I feel like every human being on this earth has the ability to be creative, even if that means looking at something else, getting an idea and doing it for yourself, tweaking it, changing it. That's what you're gonna have to do. A lot of people, they want to come in and they want it to just be simple, but the days of just looking at what somebody else is doing, copying it verbatim and being successful never happened. Those days never existed, and they never will. You can copy a system, you can copy idea and make it better, but you have to make it your own. And so creativity means, if you start off with a model who you think is a lot of you guys come to me and you don't have really a concept of this and what it is, but from what I've told you the gist of it. And so you don't have that experience, because I can't teach you the experience part. I can give you the system. I can, try to give you a little bit of the game, but at the end of the day, a lot more is going to come when you get started. So once you get started, if you see something's not working, come back and change it. Do something different. If you are scrolling through and looking at the different profiles and you see something that sticks out to you, maybe that's something that you should try to duplicate. Maybe there's a different way that you could go about this. A lot of times with this, it's about curiosity. Your profile is amongst hundreds of thousands of people. My profiles are amongst hundreds of thousands of people. But the reason it stands out, the reason I get calls and I get chats and I get tributes, is because I have breathed life, breath life. I've given life to this character, and I've made her interesting. I've made her somebody that people are curious about and they want to talk to. And it's the subtle things. Like, literally, guys, you could do someone that is obsessed with, the forest, and she's a forest princess. She loves to go into the forest and make love. She loves to, but that is like a concept that has to come with creativity. Someone is going to call her because that interests them. But if you just do, oh, I'm laying at home in bed with my pink lingerie and it's lacy and it's cute and I'm so right now. And, you're not really standing out. And I will not say that won't work. I'm not saying that won't work, because it can. But creativity and that whole aspect of thing, it also leans to you not getting bored, you finding this fun and interesting, you being able to sustain this, because that's another thing. It has to be sustainability. When I get bored with this, or when I don't feel like doing it, the first thing I do is think of a new character I want to create. Because the sky is the limit. I just did a TikTok and I was like, whose skin am I going to jump in today? Because that's how easy it is. We have the freedom that no one is seeing our face. All we have is our voice. And going back to the self-doubt. Well, what if the customer knows that it's me on both of the profiles? Who gives a fuck? Like, why are you worried about somebody who hasn't even paid you yet? Why are you worried about things that really don't matter? Tell them, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. What are they going to say? I know it's you. I heard it. Like, what? That has never happened to me. I've talked to customers from, between my multiple models multiple times. I look at it as a win. I already know what you into. I already know what you want. I already know how to milk it out of you. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get more money this time because I'm already aware. So you really, want to make sure that you do come into this with a certain mindset that this is going to work for me. This is life-changing income. And the fact that you're able to watch this video means that you are now aware of the opportunity. There's a lot of ladies out there and a lot of younger people out there who are, over 18 who don't have the awareness that this exists. So they're choosing very dangerous ways to get money through their femininity, their bodies, and all of these stuff that is going to lead them to destruction. So it's like you have to kind of look at it like you have a golden ticket. You're lucky enough to have a golden ticket. So are you going to, be the people at the, I'm sorry, on our last Patreon, I talked about Willy Wonka, and they were like, I can't believe you just invoked Willy Wonka, and I'm invoking him again. Are you going to be Veruca? Are you going to be, the other kids at the factory who got messed up? Are you going to be Charlie who wins the whole goddamn chocolate factory? You got to put on your top hat and get a little crazy with this. You got to make it work for yourself if this is something that you want. I want to save you the time and the money not to do this if you feel like those top 5 mistakes are just not a part of who you are as a person. Because for some people, 9 to 5 is the way. Everybody can't be a queen bee. So we need the worker bees too. And I put it like that because not to call you a worker bee instead of a queen bee, but it's like if that hits you a certain way, then you are a queen bee and you need to rise up into your position. So that's all I have to say. I wanted to share those things with you guys. Definitely stay tuned. I'm going to be trying to be more consistent with these videos, TikToks, all of that different stuff. If you're interested, go ahead over to the website, check out the profile setup, the courses, and the new things I'm going to be putting out. If you want to really get into it with us and have a family to kind of hold you and remind you, so you do have a little bit of a support system, definitely check out the Patreon. We go live once a week in the Patreon. Lots of resources. We have a private Discord in there. And if you do become a member of the Patreon, all of those books that I mentioned, we had a lovely student, Jenny, who did our webinar. She posted a lot of different books that is in our book club section of the Patreon Discord. And you'll be able to have access to all of those. But if you want to just purchase it for one time on the website, definitely stay tuned. I'll have that up as soon as I can. But I love you guys. Make sure you love yourself. And remember, don't chase the bag. Make the bag chase you. Peace.